Secret mind control programs began in America in September of 1946 when President Harry Truman quietly authorized Project Paperclip, a U.S. government program that allowed the Department of Defense to recruit and hire high-ranking Nazi German doctors, scientists, and spies into the United States. Over 1,600 Nazis and Italian fascists and their dependents were ushered in through South America with passports and assistance provided by the Vatican and the Red Cross. The purpose of this clandestine immigration was to infiltrate American governing jurisdictions, fortify secret societies, and establish new agencies with the ongoing agenda of the New World Order. Among the imports was Wernher von Braun. Von Braun led the Army's rocket development team at Redstone Arsenal, resulting in the Redstone rocket, the first rocket developed to carry a nuclear warhead. Over the next 20 years, von Braun would go on to develop missiles, plan a manned spaceflight to Mars, and design a space station that would orbit the Earth. When NASA was established in 1958, Nazi Party member von Braun became the first director of the Marshall Space Flight Center in Huntsville, Alabama. Another prominent Nazi recruit for the U.S. was German General Reinhard Gehlen. Upon his arrival in Washington, D.C. in 1945, Gehlen met extensively with President Truman, General William Donovan, Director of Office of Strategic Services, and Allen Dulles. The objective was to reorganize American intelligence operations and transform it into the Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA, in 1947, which Dulles would become the director of. Reinhard Gehlen was also instrumental in creating the National Security Council, from which the National Security Act of 1947 was derived. This particular piece of legislation was implemented to protect and conceal an unconscionable number of illegal government activities, including secret mind control programs. As the U.S. government became saturated with the infiltration of Nazi intelligence, one of the more sadistic Nazi doctors, Dr. Joseph Mengele, was invited to extend his barbaric human research that he was permitted to practice in Nazi Germany. His experiments resumed in the United States in 1951 under Project Bluebird, which morphed into Project Artichoke and MK Naomi. These were the origins of what would become Project MK Ultra in 1953. The aim of these projects was outlined in a memo dated January 1952 that asks, "Can we get control of an individual to the point where he will do our bidding against his will and even against such fundamental laws of nature, such as self-preservation?" The data harvested from these experiments generated more experiments with the ultimate goal of controlling the entire planet by creating the New World Order. Program after program went on secretly unbeknownst to the American public, utilizing hundreds of thousands of silent victims, most of them children.
New details are coming out in a trove of declassified documents that the agency has kept secret for years.
Thousands of government-sponsored experiments did take place at hospitals, universities, and military bases around our nation. In too many cases, informed consent was withheld. Americans were kept in the dark about the effects of what was being done to them. The deception extended beyond the test subjects themselves to encompass their families and the American people as a whole. For these experiments were kept secret, and they were shrouded not for a compelling reason of national security, but for the simple fear of embarrassment. And that was wrong. Under our watch, we will no longer hide the truth from our citizens. We will act as if all that we do will see the light of day.